for the best of them, Barsha. Don't say the true meaning, but Unadilla. We skipped the main word.
Yeah, that's right. We're looking at pro debuts, future pro superstars, and some of the craziest fans in all of motocross. It is Unadilla, and there's nothing on the Lucas Oil Motocross Championship Tour quite like it. On this day, the guys that liked it most, though, were the guys that came in running the red plates.
Where are we at again? The Dilla. The Dilla. It's about to be a thriller at the Dilla, that's for sure.
Thanks, Double D. Indeed, it is the RacerX Motocross Show presented by Motorsport.com. We are in upstate New York at Unadilla. Let's catch up with one of New York's finest.
Got up to the line. We got a little bit of a situation with all the gates, a lot of mud in the middle, so we're going to work through that and hopefully get a good start and do some damage today.
Let's get to the highlights. 450 Moto number 1. I got bad news for everyone not named Ryan Villopoto. Ryan Villopoto has your MotorcycleSuperstore.com Whole Shot Award. He did not race here last year, but you might remember 2011 when he dominated at Unadilla. Well, whatever formula he had working on that day was working here, as he already was distancing himself from Ryan Dungey and the rest of the field. It's on the first lap, and RV is already gone. Meanwhile, James Stewart there making a move on Andrew Short to get up to the number 3 spot. So you've got 3 of the big hitters here, 1, 2, and 3. Then it's Short, followed by the Honda boys, Kennard and Barsha. Sorry about your luck. Bobby Canary, the New York homecoming, spoiled with that. So there's your top 3 flying in formation, and that's pretty much the way it would stay throughout. Short would eventually feel some heat from the Honda duo, and Josh Grant would also get in this battle as well. First, Kennard gets around him to go up to 4th, and Barsha working on Short as well. Barsha would get around Short. Then Kennard, who was trying to build on the momentum after his good run the last race in Millville, Minnesota, unfortunately started having some sort of bike problems. I believe he might have got a track marker jammed in his chain, and then suddenly he was losing power on some of the sections, and he was powerless to stop Barsha and Short from getting around him. There's Grant on the 33 sneaking into the picture along with his teammate Brayton. Eventually things would go from bad to worse for Kennard. After getting passed by a couple of riders, he would pull into the pits, and his moto was over. It was also over as far as the battle for the win because Ryan Villopoto was just crushing it. You can forget about the off day at Millville. He's back and better than ever. Monster Energy Kawasaki rider wins Moto number 1 in dominant fashion. And speaking of fashion, running the new Fu Manchu mustache, Alden Baker there to help clean it out so they can get ready for Moto number 2. And it's the same exact thing as Moto 1. Villopoto grabs the MotorcycleSuperstore.com whole shot. You saw what he did in the first moto. You can pretty much imagine they'll do it in Moto 2. This time it's Barsha in second early. And Barsha, obviously comfortable on this soil. He is a New York native. Did a good job of at least keeping it close for a few laps. Kind of shades of the Muddy Creek moto from earlier in the season. But eventually, Villopoto was just too much. Villopoto's teammate Jake Weimer is followed by Nicoletti early on. Weimer is strong in third. More on that later. You see here Villopoto starting to distance himself a bit from Barsha. Still, New York fans had something to cheer about. At least the number 51 had a shot at it for the first half. Let's go back to Weimer here in third. Everyone's wondering, where is Dungey? Where is Dungey? Eventually, Josh Grant would move to 4th, and there's Dungey in 5th. But Dungey was not able to eat the guys up. No, they were giving him all he could handle. He got to Grant, and it took a long time to get around the Yamaha rider. Seemed like every time Dungey was there to put the pressure on, Grant would respond, pull back away. He had some good lines on this track. Finally, Dungey able to get around Grant, then Grant kept Dungey in sight as Dungey went after Weimer for the podium spot in the moto. Barsha and Villopoto long gone. Weimer's best moto of the year was able to hold Dungey off down the stretch. Villopoto going for the 1-1. This is about as good as it gets. Maybe his performance at Hangtown was slightly more dominant, but either way, he's back on top of his game. Solid run by Barsha to finish second. Weimer would hold off Dungey for third in the moto, relegating Dungey back to third overall with 2-4 scores. And a huge crowd to greet everyone up on the podium. Yeah, they're pumped. Barsha back in New York. Let's get to the 250s.
Ruts, more ruts. A little bit of bumps, but ruts. Ruts up jumps, ruts down jumps. When you land on jumps. From jumps to corners, all ruts. That's about it.
Thank you for the analysis, Justin Hill. Hey, look, Jesse Nelson back in action for the first time this year. Had an elbow problem. Matt Bisceglia making his professional debut, as well as Shane McElrath. So this gate is loaded with some riders we haven't even seen this year. But no matter who's on the gate, you can pretty much count on a Will Hahn motorcycle at Superstore.com whole shot. Now, Adam Cianciarulo led the charge with a couple of riders way off the track. More on that in a bit. Early on, it was Hahn leading Jeremy Martin, Zach Osborne in the hunt, Ken Roczen as well. No sign of Eli Tomac yet. Here's Osborne, Cianciarulo, and now Tomac, who is closing on the top 5. Cianciarulo gets around Osborne early. Then Osborne would go back to work on the rookie. Here is Tomac getting around his teammate Osborne. Then he would go to work on the rookie, Cianciarulo. Good battle between these guys, but you know Tomac where he's headed. He's going to the front on one of these rough straights. He's going to get around Cianciarulo. Now he's got to catch the lead group. And that lead group, Hahn, Martin, and Roczen. Tomac's starting to make tracks. Times 2 seconds a lap faster than this group. So now it's a 4-way battle for the lead behind Hahn, with Martin, Roczen, and Tomac right there. Martin, figuring the best defense is a good offense, figures I'll just go after Hahn so I don't have to worry about Roczen or Tomac. Good move. In the back, he emerges with the lead, showing everybody that he's not a one-trick Millville pony. Now it's up to Roczen to try to get Hahn before Tomac can get him. This battle had the Hill people pumped up at Unadilla, but watch this. Tomac passes both Hahn and Roczen at the same time. He's in second. Then Roczen follows through to get third. Hahn going to drop some time. Now the question is, can the rookie Martin hold up in the #1 spot? He's been riding really good as of late, but Tomac is just something special right now. He goes into the #1 spot. So we focus a little further back. Osborne got passed by Tomac and Cianciarulo early in this one, but he starts finding the groove, gets around Hahn. Now even starts closing in on Roczen and Martin. Osborne's been fighting arm pump in the first motos all year. This'll pump you up. What is that the Hill said about Rux? But he didn't give up and actually gets around Roczen, who started struggling with arm pump in his own right. Tomac, meanwhile, was gone. Martin was solid in second. Not many battles left on the track late in this one. One of the few, Blake Baggett on the move. Said he did a lot of testing and the bike was working a lot better today. He's in 4th late. That pushes Roczen back to 5th. Tomac takes another moto win. That's 5 in a row. It's Martin, and then watch this battle. Osborne just able to hold off Baggett. Good job, Zach.
Yeah, dude, it was sick. The track's awesome. It's super technical. Yeah, I had a great moto. It's 3rd place, best first moto of the year, and I'm stoked.
Well, Zach's usually better in the second motors than the first, so he's got to be really stoked on his chances here until he almost gets into the starting gate. Better than Marvin Muscan, who actually was into the starting gate. Rough day for the Frenchman. MotorcycleSuperstore.com whole shot to Martin Davalos on the #40. He has Roczen right behind him. Roczen desperately needs a moto win to try to make up some ground on Tomac in the standings. Good start for Bogle and another good start for Martin, who has been on the gas lately on that MyPlash Star Yamaha. Roczen able to displace Davalos for the lead, and then Bogle passes Davalos to take over second. Go a little bit further back to see this traffic. Eventually, you're going to see the 17 of Tomac getting into the picture. That's bad news for everyone else. The shark is in the water, and he is hungry. So there's Roczen, Bogle, Martin, and here's your battle. Tomac getting Davalos and Anderson in one fell swoop. Anderson would end up having 2 crashes in this moto. Didn't finish it, but he was okay. Bogle running solid in second, but watch out. You're going to have to deal with Tomac. Tomac once again dueling with Jeremy Martin. And he's able to make the move. Now he's got to go after Bogle for second. Roczen by now had opened up nearly an 8-second lead. But look at that. Tomac killing these corners and jumping the jump on the bottom of the hill. All this momentum would bring him past Bogle and up to the rear wheel of Roczen. Now I'll give Roczen some credit here. Tomac was going 2 to 3 seconds a lap faster, but once he got there, Roczen did a great job of holding him off. And he wasn't dirty about it. He was just smart, picking the right lines to hold the 17 back. But Tomac is just too darn strong and fast right now. Eventually, he's going to figure it out. He uses an outside line, switches to the inside. Again, Roczen doing all he can. He knows for the championship, he's got to keep Tomac behind him. But when a guy's going 2 to 3 seconds a lap faster, there's a certain feeling of inevitability to it all. Here it is, killing that berm again. getting the double again. That's the difference maker. Tomac into the lead. Roczen said, I tried to stay with him, but a half a lap later, I couldn't see him anymore. So your battle is on for third. It's still Bogle, but Martin digging deep. He wants to prove again that he's not just a Millville kid. He can do it here in New York. Checkered flag comes out. Tomac goes 1-1. That's 6 straight moto wins. Roczen finishes second, and Martin does complete the pass on Bogle late to take third in the moto for second overall. Roczen goes 5-2 for third, and the fans are loving it. Let's catch up with Josh Grant, solid today on the 450s. All right, we're here with Josh Grant, JGR Toyota Yamaha. That was a battle, second moto especially. You got fourth overall, but you were right in there with Dungey and Weimer the whole way. It was a good race.
Yeah, no, it was really good. Even the first moto felt good for me. You know, I got pretty decent start, started inside top 10, so, you know, gives me something to work with. You know, when I get back in the back of the pack, it's hard to move forward, so especially here. But, yeah, I ended up first moto getting in a battle with Shorty, trying to get around him, and it was tough. The track was really rutted in one line, so. But second moto, man, yeah, it was good. Dungey was on me the whole time and trying not to make any mistakes, and ended up making a mistake actually right before the finish line, which allowed him to get around me. And then him and Weimer started battling towards the end, and it kind of held him up a little bit, and it allowed me to catch back up in there in the mix. And I made a mistake with 2-lap board, came out, fell down, and ended up getting a foot peg to the arm. So unfortunately, I had to go get some stitches.
But you didn't even lose any positions? Like, no one even realized this happened. You stayed in the same spot.
Yeah, we had a pretty big gap, I think, over 6th, over Medi, and then when I went down, I could kind of feel all the blood running through my gloves and all that, so I was like, I'll just cruise it in, and he kind of caught up towards the end, but yeah, luckily we had a big enough gap for 5th.
Where's the damage? Doesn't even look that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. You know, we got, I think, 10 or 12 stitches in there, so it's, they had to sew it inside and out, so, but we're good.
Last thing, what's the difference here? Last 4 or 5 races, you've been really good, pretty solid every week. So anything you can point to?
No, I just feel like I'm getting more comfortable. You know, like it's been tough because the last few months. I mean, I've been coming off of shoulder surgery about 6 months ago, and you know, it was kind of soon to hop into the outdoors, and I knew where I stood. So I was just trying to put together good races. And these last few rounds, I've actually felt really strong, and you know, worked on my technique a lot, and just trying to stay consistent, and it's been paying off.
Getting it done. That's it. We're going to Utah. That's the RacerX Motocross Show, brought to you by motorsport.com. See ya.